Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivandadari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivandadari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Shri La Prabhupada Ki Jai Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paskatya Desatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. So my dear, today is a very special topic of our Krishna conscious career. We want to open a temple in the Western world. Well, good luck. That I wish you really good luck. Why? Because it's your own life. Krishna consciousness is your own life. It's what you want to do. It's what you want to be. You want to be Krishna conscious. So let's think about a little bit, what is life all about? What are we trying in life? From birth, we have our father and mother, and we have certain expectations. Anamaya, get food. If food is not coming, crying. If you don't cry, don't get anything to eat. Well, then little later we start realizing pranamaya, bodily comforts. Yeah, you want bodily comforts, a nice warm dress when it is too cold, some food when you're hungry. That's already discussed, Anamaya, it's the first call. Then you want a nice little swim when you see water. You want to run to see the power of your legs. You run like the young kids running up and down. Then you want to see how strong you are. So you make some wrestling with your friends. Oh, who can put the other on the ground like that? Or you start discovering that I can paint. So then you paint. Then little child is coming to mother. Look what I painted. And she scribbled some lines on a piece of paper. And mother says, oh, you must be Pablo Picasso. You're such a wonderful. And then the child says, my painting has impressed somebody. Oh. So we want to achieve some recognition. We want to get some appreciation for our existence. We don't only want to exist, but we want to exist for a purpose. And the purpose is to please the people who are around us. And Also, we like to be pleased what they are saying and what they are doing. If they say, "You stupid fool," we feel very depressed. And if they say, "Oh, how wonderful that I have come into contact with you," we feel like, that's very nice commentary to hear. My life is delighted. So in Pranamaya, we have so many different ways where we get appreciated or we survive. In Pranamaya, after some time, it's not enough. It becomes Manomaya. Manomaya is now, what do you think about what I think? And what you think, why you think that way. I think you're wrong. I think my thinking is better. So we are becoming a little competitive, and we are sometimes counseling people, coaching people, and sometimes we are being coached by somebody. So it is an exchange in a mental level, which is more intensive, but the physical level of Pranamaya, it is still running by. But then the Manomaya, it is there. But then after some time of the Manomaya, then we start becoming curious. Is there something more? Is there something more about life than just having mental exchanges, speculation about nature, scientific discoveries of intellectual debating capacity or good memory shows? Is there something more? Is there something to be known about the unknown? What about the invisible world? What do I know about the invisible world? What connection do I have with it? Sincerely speaking, I need to know. The invisible world seems to be around the corner because any moment I die. Wait a second, I die? Who dies? Who am I? Now all of a sudden, questions arise within me, which can only be answered in Vijnanamaya, in having some realization. And that is Vijnanamaya. Basically, that's what brings us to a temple. That's what brings us to say, hey, let me live with Vaishnavas and find out about the truth of existence. That is when the quest for the truth becomes alive. Because for Annamaya, if you get food, you don't care. You don't even care what the food is usually. They just put anything in your mouth. Very good. But in Manomaya, if it's comfortable, it's great. In Manomaya, in Pranamaya, in Manomaya, everybody is on his own speculative level. But when it comes to Vijnanamaya, no, we have to study the different levels of understanding. But when it comes to Vijnanamaya, we need real answers. And real answers are to be found in spirituality. If you want to know about the invisible, if you want to know about the causal, invisible, obviously affecting us all, but unclear. Why are you with brown hair? Why you don't have black hair? What happens? Why you have a mustache and you don't have a mustache? It doesn't grow. So many questions about the body, about the world, about the universe, about time, about my future. There are no answers for these questions in Gyan, but in Vijnan, they are the answers. Now, this is the basic consideration. Now we join a temple. I just gave you a little bit the running. What we went through before we decided we want to live in a spiritual community, we want to go after Vijnan. But we are still looking for some recognition. We are still looking for some love. I mean, love is a very hot topic, and that we will touch upon later. Now we are going a little bit more for being acknowledged. We want to be acknowledged. Hey, who are you? I'm a member of this community. Oh, really? Wonderful. Yes, it's wonderful. I'm here because it's a wonderful community. And I want to be a wonderful member in the wonderful community. Oh, yes. Now we have the big threat of the ego coming from the back. Who is the best in the community? Competition spirit. Who is the best Sankirtan man? Who is doing the best sadhana? Who's eating the least? Who's sleeping the least? On this level of competition, it is more an ego thing. But there's something within us. It is not purely ego. It is, we are by nature servants. So we want to please somebody. So we want to see that those who we want to please are actually pleased. That is the positive side. When you're in a community, you should try to be a leader, not the leader, a leader of whatever you do. A leader in the kitchen, a leader in the cleanliness, a leader in the sadhana, a leader in the archana, a leader in the reception. A leader means I'm a representative of my ideals. If you want to be recognized, if you want to have this appreciation of others, you have to definitely be a leader. As long as you always have to be pushed to do anything, nobody's going to appreciate that. Yes, now we are talking about the leader who is going to start a spiritual community. In the West especially, in India it may be the same or similar, I don't know. I was brought up in a Krishna temple in the West, so I tell you, if you want to open a Krishna Conscious Center in the West, now you give the example in everything. Even if you're alone. If you're alone, then you're starting. Srila Prabhupada said, I preach because that is what my guru told me to do. Sometimes hundreds listen, sometimes one person listens, somebody knows, nobody listens. Then I preach to the wall. And from that preaching to the wall, the introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is came. Very amazing, no? Very amazing. Prabhupada is absolutely amazing. But we want to start the center of Krishna consciousness, so we have to have an artik. We will come to another chapter of installing deities. A deity can just be a picture of the Panchatattva and my spiritual master's line. That is already an altar. I do not have to have a full set of Gornitais and Jagannath and Radha Krishna or like that. This is coming later. If I have a temple with some people participating, if I really want to make the better I want my archana to be, I can make it, no problem. But I have to maintain it also. That is another thing. But at least we have to have an altar where we offer our food and all that. So Guru Gauranga is the first worship, picture of your Guru, and it means picture of Prabhupada and Panchatattva. Now, here comes the program. You give a class in the morning after Artik, or at 7, or whatever time you choose. You worship Tulasi, you sing for Nishingadev, or you maybe sing other songs. Different missions, they sing different songs. That's one clear thing, that hardly any two temples have the same sadhana. If you go around India, even though there are many, they're coming from the same lineage, but they all have different programs. So it's according to the spiritual master's design, how you do this here, that, according to time, place, and circumstance. But we all chant Hare Krishna, and we all sing the songs of our Vaishnava Acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and others. So basically the program is clear, but who comes? Who comes to the programs? Now this is the beginning of spiritual life, that you have to encourage people to participate. You have to make people happy to participate. First of all, you have to participate. If you as a leader don't participate, well, it's going to be a tough thing for others, unless you have a very, very good leader after you or others who already sustain their own energy in the sadhana, and they do it with you or without you. That's very good. If you have such people, great. But let's say you're starting a center, you have to do it. Now you invited some people, they're living in your ashram, and now you say, Prabhu, come to Artik. You have to encourage them. Of course, living in the ashram has rules, and the rules are also we follow a sadhana. But sadhana, mangalartik, coming to class, all these things, they work when people are happy about it. Like when you come to the temple and everybody says, oh, very nice to see you. And very nice, you feel appreciated, no? So, because for each and every member, it's a great struggle against Maya. We are all in an individual war with Maya. And the Krishna Conscious Temple is our battleground to win against Maya. Without the temple, there's sure you're not going to win against Maya. You go out there, live by yourself in an apartment, your sadhana is going to go down the drain. Not only that, all the anarthas will come knock your door, eating garbage, eating only junk food, watching unwanted movies, spending time sleeping in the morning hours of Brahma Muhurta. Whatever little stupid things come, and then the boring comes. Nobody appreciates me. Life is so boring. Nobody says, good morning, how are you, my beloved Vaishnava? Nobody says, Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha. And I can also say, Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha to nobody. So you get bored with life. Really bored. Anyway, then people look for a partner. Then the partner thing starts. I don't enter into that subject because partners may be devotees. If you have a devotional partner and together you make a devotional life, then it is becoming an ashram, becomes a grihastha ashram. But a grihastha ashram is not easy to maintain. First, you have to have a good leadership training in the temple. Then you may be able to have a grihastha life. Otherwise, the grihastha life is not one who helps the other come up. No, grihastha life is one pulling the other one down. Only joy, only material thing, only competition. We have not enough money, we have this, why you this? And it is like a dragging down. There's no spiritual life in grihamidi life. You know that. So, living by yourself outside of a temple, your sadhana is going to die. And because of boring, most likely you will start drinking some alcohol or smoking some marijuana, or maybe you start smoking cigarettes, or maybe you are just having bad association. You go out and you sit in a bar with people because you don't have nobody to associate with. Or you go to the football club and you say, hey, my club, no? And you get like friends on the material motivation, you know. You see the football fields, they're always filled with people and they're screaming, oh, wow. But they cannot last like this. They all get drunk in the end. They get drunk if they win and they get drunk if they lose. It's a perfect business to sell alcohol because everybody remains a client. And plus they become addicted. So alcoholic addiction, alcoholics or narcotics, that is something, it is like the material downside. If you're in that, to come out of that, to come to sadhana, and that was what the temple does in the Western world. It offers people a helping hand. Get out of this terrible world of this hopelessness. So, coming back to your sadhana, so you welcome everybody. Yes, if you want to give a class, you have to encourage the people to come to your class. You have to be kind. Wake them up in the morning. Tell them, please come to class today. Otherwise, you have no clientele. And that's boring for the preacher if there's nobody to listen to his class. And I tell you, I've been a preacher for so many years. What it goes like is like that. When I come to a new city, there's 40 people sitting, jai, all listening to class very happily. Next morning, it's 20. Where are the other 20? Oh, they're busy now. Next morning, it's 15. Next morning, it's 10. Next morning, it may be 5. You have to keep encouraging the people. Sadhana is medicine. If you don't take the medicine, you're going to be more sick. But people have the tendency of not wanting to take the medicine. So you have to encourage them. Srila Prabhupada called it sugar-coating medicine. Come, my friend, you need the sadhana. And now not only that, Prabhu, you have to be a leader. You have to be a leader in your field. Like, is he born in a Krishna conscious family? He's a leader because he has learned that from beginning. You're already so long time, you have to be a leader. Shatrughna, if he's not a leader, then he's a rascal. So many years of knowing about Krishna and not leading, what is this? Audarya, our engineer, our senior citizen devotee, my God, of course he must be our leader. And he sings so nice and plays the kartal, sometimes out of rhythm, but he plays very good. Julanyatra, a leader. So I'm talking to 5 leaders. And maybe here on this recording, somebody else is going to listen. Yes, we have to be leaders. Now, what's the problem when you have many leaders and there's no, we sometimes make the jokes in the temple, many chiefs but no Indians. Everybody's a chief. Okay, then the chiefs have to understand that you have to appreciate the other chief. I'm not making you feel like new bhaktas, because you're not new bhaktas. But if you were new bhaktas, then I would have to encourage you even more. Please come, listen to the Bhagavatam, listen to the Gita. This is your medicine of today. It is also my medicine to speak about it. Speaking, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, this is all medicine. 9 types of medicine. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Shakyam, Atma Nivedanam. All this is our devotional medicine. Now, you want to preach in the Western world, you have to understand that everybody's in deep Maya. To get out of this Maya is not easy. Now, your temple is supposed to take out one of Maya. You know what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said about that? He says it takes 20 gallons of blood to take one person out of the world of Maya. 20 gallons of blood. And many times, after some time, they also go back into Maya. They think, oh, maybe they gain some strength and they say, oh, now I'm very good. Now I can go out again and do it myself. But without association of devotees, advancing is very difficult and not recommended. We should stay with devotees. And if you're a leader, then if you leave the temple, is only to open another temple. Oh, that's another story. If you're going to go open another temple, then all the blessing is going with you. But if you go out to just live by yourself because you don't like some devotee, many devotees leave the temple by the pretext that something in the temple is not so pleasant. Usually it's another member. Usually they have a little fight. Huh? Why you are like this? Why you are like that? Or somebody took the big samosa and the other one had no more samosa left. They said, these people don't love me. They don't left me a samosa. Yes. The ego gets entangled about any little thing. It is amazing how stupid the ego is. But it is a fact. So we have to be very cautious. You know, this is a kindergarten, spiritual kindergarten, or a spiritual hospital. Yes, definitely it's a hospital because we're all sick. We're all sick from the material world. We are coming here looking for appreciation in the world of hopelessness where only death is waiting for us. Now we want to know about the unknown, the causal. We want to know why we are here. We want to know the most wonderful things about our life. Welcome. Welcome to this program of Krishna consciousness. Now we can inquire about the truth. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Every day we study the Bhagavatam. Every day we study the Gita. And you see, with love and appreciation and kindness, the people will continue. They will continue. They will not continue if you just go around smashing people. Ah, you fool, why are you such a rascal? Why you are this, why you are that? You should be like this. People's ego cannot take much. Definitely, they cannot take much. But usually people are harsh with others, but very soft with themselves. If you say anything, only you look bad at somebody, then, oh, now I'm discouraged. They look bad at me. The ego world is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Be careful with the false ego. Be careful with everything and take shelter of the Vaishnavas and take shelter of the process. Don't forget, you're here to be a leader. If you're not a leader, then who you are for yourself. If you're not leading in Krishna consciousness, leading in the sadhana in the morning, leading in the cooking, leading in the prasad distribution, if you're not leading, then how can you be appreciated? And you want to be appreciated, and you must be appreciated. If after a class everybody comes to me, I'll never listen to another class of yours. Your class is horrible. Then I feel discouraged. One time I gave a class in England, and there were some question and answers, and I answered one question, and after the class, one lady came and she said, I don't like how you answered that question. You really put the person down who asked this question. And I felt like, wow, she's right. I answered this question without considering the feeling of the person who was asking the question. It's such a subtle thing, but it's important. You have to encourage people. Krishna consciousness is to encourage people. Maybe in the old times, in the ashram, the guru could be very, very strong with the disciples, and then there would be all disciplined and all, okay, Gurudev. But today you have to say, please, beloved children, let's do a nice program together, become leaders. You are a potential leader. It is beautiful to be a leader. It's beautiful to be appreciated as a leader. Leader means to follow the leader. We are leaders because we're following Prabhupada. Without Prabhupada, nobody of us is any leader. And the moment you don't follow Prabhupada in that particular feature, you're not a leader. You can only be a leader in the good side. In the bad side, we have other leaders. Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Ravana, plenty of bad leaders there, but they're not leaders, they're demons. So now is the time to start deciding that I have to be joyful as a leader. And you have to decide that. And not only one time, every day, again you have to decide it. You have to get up in the morning to be a leader of your own senses. That's why you live in an ashram. That's what the ashram is for. It's to save you from the illusion of this world. Don't think you are such an advanced person. You are beyond the leadership or beyond the responsibility. When I say leadership, I also mean taking responsibility. And you have to desire that. You have to tell your Guru Deva in your heart, please give me some responsibility. If anybody tells you in a temple, can you please help the temple president? Can you be the vice president or secretary or can you be anybody important in this temple? Immediately you should feel, wow, they're trusting me. I'm such a fallen soul. They're trusting me with the deity worship, with cooking for the devotees, with managing the Lakshmi of Krishna. They're trusting me. Oh my God, what a responsibility has come upon me. You see, when people come to a class, you have to be grateful to them. They're saving you, not you are saving them. No, they're saving you by giving you the chance to preach to them. That is a very, very important thing. When you start a Center for Krishna Consciousness in the Western world, it is for being saved from the meaningless life of not starting a center. Because our spiritual master, he invited all of us. He sent us out to preach everywhere. Srila Prabhupada told all his disciples, go start a center. He sent Shivananda, an 18-year-old boy, after 1 year in the movement, he sent him from America to Europe to start the Krishna conscious movement. He sent young people to Australia, to Hong Kong, here and there. He sent me to Scandinavia. I was a little pipsqueak. I was a greenhorn. I'm still a greenhorn. I mean, before the eternal realization of Krishna's loving pastimes, we always remain like some little fools. Will we ever know the secrets of divine love? Ever known the secrets of advanced devotion? Well, it's up to Krishna, but at least our Guru has trusted us. He has said, go and give this prasadam to the people, give these books to the people, give lectures on Bhagavad Gita. He has told us to. I still remember the first class I gave in Krishna consciousness was after 3 months in the movement. I was here in Berlin. The temple president wasn't there in the Sunday class. There was nobody. And there were a whole bunch of people sitting for the Sunday program. And somebody said, hey, you have to give the class. I say, take this book and read from it and say something. I mean, I was in the temple because I wanted to be in the temple. It was like this. So I sat down, I did what they do. I read the book from the Ishopanishad. I still remember. Ishavasya idam savam jat kinsha jagat jam jagatena tyaktena bunjitaha magritaha kasya svitalam. That verse I was reading from. Everything is controlled by the Lord. And I spoke whatever I spoke, I don't know. And I remember after the class, people approached me and said, such a nice class. I felt, me? Class? I'm 3 months here in this movement. I just have heard a few classes myself. But it was the need. So this is Prabhupada's movement. Very spontaneous. Don't make things too difficult for others. And let people be appreciated for whatever little thing they can do. If somebody can make a flower garland, say, wow, this almost looks like a flower garland from Vrindavan, you know. In Vrindavan, they make flower garlands, makes you look like, wow. Huh? You cannot believe how beautiful, opulent. But if you go to South India, they make them even better. In South India, they make flower garlands like this and without thread, all tied together. I've seen it personally. Wow. How beautiful flower garlands they make. So there's many levels of making flower garlands. Just taking a thread and a needle and putting a few things in a line, that's the simple version. But doesn't matter. Krishna says, offer me a flower, a fruit, some water with love, and I will accept it. So now we come to the essence of this. It's all your love which is going to spread Krishna consciousness. You have to instruct with love, you have to practice with love, you have to forgive with love, you have to encourage with love, you have to cook with love, distribute prasadam with love, be patient with the slow, and sometimes devotees are sick, you know. Sometimes they're just lazy. That's also happening. To fight laziness is, you have to use a lot of humor. You have to joke them out of their laziness. Because if you smash them in their laziness, then their ego will come and they will say, I'm going to my mother. Like that. But laziness is a challenge, a great challenge to Krishna consciousness. Laziness and ego. Oh, and attachment to money. Oof. That's another problem. How attached or how detached are you from money when you join the Krishna conscious community? Now, it's a very important thing. Now, when you're a brahmachari, you join the temple and the temple gives you food, the temple gives you dress, the temple gives you joy, and you give everything to the temple you have. That's a natural approach. The natural brahmachari approach. It's actually, the brahmacharis go out and on Madhukari, they beg for the spiritual master. They bring the collection back to the spiritual master, and then they only eat when the spiritual master calls them. That's what the scriptures say. Now see what's our reality. I mean, careful with your reality. Especially careful if you have some boga here. I heard that here is some deity boga. They buy for the deities and it disappears. People just grab the deity boga for themselves. Forget it, you know. That's a lack of respect and discipline, which is really, really, really bad. Anyhow, so the brahmachari gives everything to the temple. But then there are some people, maybe they have some disease, maybe they have some private needs, maybe then they have to have some special arrangements. Maybe they need, if they go out for collection and they make some money, they can keep something of it because for their whatever private needs they have. But number one always has to be the temple. First and foremost consideration has to be a temple. Because if I live in a temple, I don't consider the needs of the temple, then my understanding of this is not very high. This is not a leader quality. A leader quality must say, I want this temple to flourish. I want this temple to have opulence or whatever, to serve the people in a better way. So I'm not here trying to make a business or get a cheap deal. Maybe I get a cheap deal, I can live here cheaply and in this way live my privacy, but I'm actually not caring for the deity or for anything. Krishna will not tolerate this for too long. He may tolerate for some time. He may tolerate to see whether you are actually interested in the temple and in Krishna or not. But if you are into only your personal finances, and you're only living in the temple for conveniences, then this is not Krishna consciousness. That's not what the temple is about. The temple is about giving to Krishna, and collecting for Krishna, cleaning for Krishna, doing my handicrafts for Krishna, whatever, I'm singing for Krishna. I mean, if somebody comes to the temple, sings a song, and then asks for some money for him, his singing, sorry, that's not the singing we are looking for. How much you pay me for singing the Mangal Artik? Forget it. Better put on a tape. We have nice tapes with nice music we can listen to. But we sing for Krishna, we play for Krishna, we work for Krishna. Everything is for Krishna. Opening a center in the Western world means inspiring these degrees of surrender to work for Krishna. Yes, there may be special arrangement, like some devotee needs a dental treatment and there's no money and he has no insurance. So then we say, okay, you collect this month for your dental treatment because there's no other way. You cannot live with tooth pain or some things like that. And many things, exceptions we call them. And those exceptions are made with the leader in love and trust. You discuss, this is my situation. I remember one devotee, he was living in the beginning. From the beginning, he always took money. He always took money. Why? Because his mother had nobody else to look after her. So he went to the temple president, I will work here for the temple, but half of the profit I'm making, I need for my mother. So he did that, at least for 15 years, and he collected. I think his name is Chaitanya Chandra, disciple of Srila Harijan Maharaj. And then his mother died, and the house was his house. So Krishna provided. I mean, there's so many type of things, circumstances. Every circumstances can be harmonized. Krishna consciousness can adapt. Srila Bhakti Rakshita used to say, Krishna consciousness is the movement of the positive adjustment. We can positively adjust everything to the circumstances of each individual. That is what it means to be a leader in Krishna consciousness, to positively adjust for everyone to practice sadhana, to only eat prasadam, to become leaders, to take responsibility, up to the point that they can go out and open a new center for Krishna consciousness. I know these things are not easy, but who told you that it is easy to practice Krishna consciousness? Who told you that it is easy to live in a community? Who told you that it is easy to polish your character and to get rid of your false ego? Who told you that it is easy? Yes, sometimes devotee association is very enthusing. Oh yes, but there are moments they are not so enthusing. Sometimes even the other person may not. Like we have somebody who's sick, then he don't give such a kind word, and then, why you're not loving me? Because all of us, we are really craving for love. And that love, now get the point. The love you're searching for is the love that you're giving. Repeat with me. The love we are searching for is the love which we should be giving. If you give love, you have a lovely life. And whatever you get is what you deserve. If you don't get love in return, then give more love. And if you still don't get any love in return, then give more love. It's all about love. Prabhupada gave us so much love. He made our life with his love, his knowledge, his forgiving, and he showed us that we are eternal spirit souls, that we are responsible, each and every one, for our own activities. He showed us that we have the super soul within our heart giving good advice. He showed us how beautiful is the temple. He showed us how beautiful is the archana, the worship of the deity. He showed us how wonderful it is to take responsibility upon devotional lifestyles. He showed us how beautiful is Rasa Yatra festival. He showed us how incredible is Vrindavan and Mayapur Dham. He showed us how important is Sadhu Sangha. He showed us that without Krishna, we are lost. So take it upon yourself to give love, 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 and you will be happy. And your temple will be successful. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanandi Hare.